Let's go. Are you sitting comfortably? Good. Time to reference tasteless internet memes with this fucking setup. Wave 4, as you can tell, we're beginning to wind down a little bit. There might be a couple of new things, but for the most part, we're retreading old ground with a fresh coat of paint. But how does it hold up? Well, to that end, perhaps we should start Cyberverse Slipstream in over 60 seconds, let's go. Yeah, I know I hit you with some clickbait in the intro, but this one is interesting, because thanks to her I managed to save 100 quid. Cut a long story short, this is the first mainline Slipstream we've had in a while. The last one, I believe, was a repaint of the original Windblade from Takara. They made a couple of these repaints and I ultimately went in on their best one, but not Slipstream. I got caught in a bidding war with some dickhead on eBay over it, and ultimately I ended up backing out when it hit 100. I was not paying that much for that, no way. I'm sure as you come to expect by now, Slipstream is a repaint of Windblade. There's no real dynamic changes beyond colouring. We have some new null ray accessories, but that's about it, truth be told. Honestly, in these colours, Slipstream just pops between the purple, the teal, the other purple. Beyond that, there's been no physical change to the figure. Everything remains the same as you expect it from Windblade. So I guess in the blink of an eye, with the snap of my fingers, we'll change Slipstream from Jet Mode to... oh, Slipstream went for the milk. Why does every woman leave me? Honestly, as far as retools go, I feel like this might be one of the more triumphant ones from Legacy. Yes, it's only a new head, but what a head sculpt. I feel like this perfectly captures the presumed aura of Slipstream of just being an absolute cunt. It also gives me positive feelings of the Unite Warriors Combiner Starscream figure. I'm being serious, these two actually look quite good together if you go by the head sculpts. Now stop fucking being a cameo and get back on the shelf. The build quality is good, and the new colour palette just highlights how much of a glow up this figure is actually received. Not to criticise Windblade in any way, I really like that original Windblade from Wave 1. But what could I say, it just looks better in arsehole colours. By far my biggest issue with Slipstream is the application of the null ray accessories, where they can only really be put under the forearms. Like, I don't mind this as an option. I've seen a few people do it with the Siege Seeker, but it just looks too long on a figure this small. And the alternative is just impractical and fairly shite, so if you ever do this in front of me again, I'll be phoning the authorities. And just mounting it on the wing like this is no good for anyone. I don't care, still good. I'm happier to have her than I would be not to. The fact that she's good and comes from a good mold is just icing on the fucking cake. Now let's talk about another weird repaint. G1 Quake in over 60 seconds, let's go. I'm sure for most of you out there, this man may look familiar, but for those of you who it doesn't, that sounds like a skill issue. Getting rid of totally obnoxious weapon storage that we will be coming back to in the robot mode, so don't get fearful. Quake is a tank. More importantly, Quake is a tank retool of the tank made of Skullgrin from Legacy Year 1. I spoke about that figure last year or whenever. But yes, literally just same thing, different execution, which is weird. It's like someone with actual talent deciding to make this content. But that's irrelevant. You can see here he's got the tank thingy-majiggy up the top with the turret and the barrel and all that other shit. And it does turn, admittedly, just a bit weirdly. You have to turn it because of the way this is designed. You can't just have it turn normal. You have to raise it, then turn it. Or it'll do it for you, because fuck you. Also, while it's not a pressing issue, and I don't have it for comparison because I'm not a fucking time traveler, he's got the same kind of weird vibes as the SS-86 Megatron, where the barrel and the weapon are just very front-loaded for some weird reason. Also, in an improvement on that original, thankfully because of the way this now transforms, he actually has complete treads. Honestly, it's just a well-put-together alt mode without much more to say. You can see the coloured highlights. Actually, completed treads is a nice feature. I'd say it's got a lot of kibble, but it really hasn't. It's just a very weirdly compressed tank. It's like an experimental tank that, you know, no one actually wanted to use. Like that fucking ball gadget one. Or the New Zealand one that was made out of a fucking tractor and it wouldn't have worked. But you know what does work? To me, it's very weird that twice in 10 years, Quake has just been a retool of a decent figure and he's somehow just fucking come out on top every time. If these guys went at it, would it be sex or would it be masturbate? Also, would it be gay? No, I actually quite like the original Skullgrin, despite being featured in a fucking compilation of people who are haters, but here we are. And honestly, Quake just does it better. The proportions, posability, and just overall stability of this man just make him an absolute fucking wonder as a figure, which is quite surprising for a late game retool like this. It is slightly a shame, however, that there's no real way to make him do the Combaticon Brawl thing where he has you know, everything up on his back like this. There's no real way to make it work. Everything is just getting in the way of each other. So, fuck it, we won't do that. Wait a minute, he's 5mm compatible. Vietnam. Also, I can't quite explain it, but this head sculpt is just light G1 goodness, and I'm here for it. Yeah, honestly, Quake's pretty good. He hasn't reinvented the wheel, but he's done something interesting with it with a new coat of paint. And the most important thing about his articulation, they did not waste time in giving him wrist swivels, which is good because unlike the original, Quake's playing gun game. I believe making their return from Needle Nose, we have the same old Target Master figures, although I think they're mildly improved with some new methods of attachment of these barrels. I still like this one over this one. Actually, I think these might be new guys altogether. I still don't understand why we're not just doing repaints of the Battle Masters that they already made. But I don't get paid to make those decisions, so fuck it. Astoundingly good. Astoundingly simple. Honestly, all things considered, I'm a big fan. G1 Optimus Prime in over 60 seconds. Let's go. This fucking thing is amazing. In the age of Missing Link, which is like a HD remaster of the original G1 toy, we get this thing, which is like the Xbox Live Arcade remake of the G1 toy. As you can clearly see, he's based on the G1 toy. I don't have any other words for it. It's the G1 toy. The tires are made of rubber and roll really well, and beyond that, he just retains all the other gimmicks that you expect of the G1 toy Optimus. It's really straightforward. He can pull the Earthrise trailer, and I imagine this is more to scale than what it was with the Earthrise figure. Fuck, it might even be a bit like SS86 in that regard. You're not getting a comparison with SS86, I'm sorry. At least not here. Although I found out I still had SS86's trailer out. Oh my fuck. That's a fucking monster, that is. This portion of the figure is riddled with 5mm ports, which you could use for weapon storage, but I don't want to. Honestly, yeah, I have nothing more to add to this truck. It's fun, dinky, small, cute, well painted, well designed, well realized, exactly what you expect, perfectly boxy, unlike recurring channel meme for comparison. I have nothing more to discuss here. Fortunately for you all, however, I have shitloads more to discuss here. This is just such an absurdly fucking wonderful concept for a figure. I'm not quite sure how much Missing Link had an impact on this, or just how much this was someone's passion project, but I fucking love it. In this mode, he's reasonably well articulated, apart from missing wrist swivels. Apart from that, he's got everything else, albeit kibble does get in the way of some of it to some degree. How the fuck is he still standing? That head sculpt is fucking wonderful. Too bad that I wouldn't say the light piping particularly is, however. Also, I just massively appreciate the foresight to make all the kibbly bits on the torso move out of the way so the articulation can move unrestricted and freely. Like a roaming wildebeest. Discussing accessories, he of course fulfills tradition at this point by being an Optimus Prime with a Matrix. But if you look and just imagine the Earthrise one that we're gotten so sick of seeing, this is not that. This is the old fucking metal one that came with one of the MPs that I got with Universe, Hot Rod, and Cyclonus in 2011. Fuck it, welcome back, I guess. Also, he has weapon accessory in the form of the axe. I could take the time to stabilize him, but it's much funnier just watching him rock like this. And normally I'd get mad that he doesn't have the wrist swivel, but it kind of works for a prop like this where it's designed to cover the hand, not necessarily be held in the hand. But it kind of works for a prop like this where it's designed to cover the hand and not just be held in it. Somehow it does a fuck you. Somehow it does a better job than the SS86 axe, which can fuck off. Also, he doesn't just come with one gun, but he instead come with two gun. I'm not quite sure if there's a reason for him coming with two, but he does. I think one's based on the toy and one's based on a comic or a show or something. I don't really know. All I do know is that even though the focus isn't the best, it's quite difficult to make out a lot of the details in this light, thanks to the fact that they're painted in gloss black. I believe they're clear plastic, which is something I totally forgot to mention. Big ups for only doing clear plastic in the chest and making it its own separate piece so it doesn't impact the rest of the figure. Good job. I'm willing to bet the original intent behind having two guns was so that you had options, but I think it's far funnier to imagine this softer, likely mute G1 version of Optimus Prime as instead a gun-toting fucking war hero. This man's out for blood and he's not fucking stopping until he gets it. If you wish to make donations of blood to the channel, it might appease his urges. Also, he comes with this Matrix, but unfortunately, there's no real way to hold it, unlike some of his contemporaries. G1ers will try and tell you that this is bad because this exists. And before any G1ers try and tell me otherwise in the comments, don't bother. I know you motherfuckers sit there in people's comments and say that the original G1 toys were the best. I know you're fucking game. Also, his smokestack becomes a weapon he can barely hold. Unless you're supposed to hold it like this, but what would be the point? Or maybe like this, but that connection isn't secure at all. Sure, why not? Like, unironically, this is one of the best releases from Legacy United by quite a wide margin. A lot of that is just shameless nostalgia baiting, but there's just something so obscene about, let's just remaster the original G1 Optimus toy. Not the design, we've had that plenty of times of late, but the actual toy into a more posable, more accessible form for the modern audience. And to tell you the truth, I fucking love it. This thing has no reason to go as hard as it does. It's missing Link at home. If you already got missing Link, you're not missing out on much, but for me, this is just unbridled, dumb fun in all the best ways. If for whatever reason you have a time machine that only goes back 18 months and you decide you only want one deluxe out of Legacy United, I'd probably say this is the one. The funniest thing is, I'm not even like a huge Optimus Prime fan. I like the character as much as everyone else, but he just consistently gets the best toys and this just adds to it. I tell you, that Christmas was wonderful when the wife gifted me this after she bought it off me. Thank you, Mrs. Wielder. Oh! I'm glad you're back. I was getting worried about you going into that ad break. So, this is slightly different. This isn't a full-on review because I can't really review Motormaster because he's fucked. Covering the basics, this is a repaint of the Legacy animated Optimus, but in Motormaster colours, so he's based on the BotCon animated Motormaster from 2011. Honestly, the coolest fucking shit when we get BotCon figures at Mainline. It's not happened often, but it fucks when it does. We get a new boxy head sculpt reminiscent of the animated edition, weirdly enough, which is based on the G1 version. If he was fucking Lemmy, I guess. Suits him though. He also comes with the same accessory of the axe, but in purple instead of blue. That's all well and good. Let's get down to my problems. You all exist to suffer my venting. So, as we can see here, Motormaster has articulation straight out like that. Absolutely no issues. Now watch what happens when I try to do it with the other arm. You watching? His back, like, untabbed itself because that joint is so fucked. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's hard to make any sort of objective review of it because that is a big fucking problem. Okay, so I disassembled the arms for shits and giggles, and I now see what the problem is. This one, the shoulder, I'm trying not to block the light. The shoulder, you know, you can see that sits flush. That sits how it's supposed to. Now here's the other one. That's it sitting flush versus that. So now I know what the problem is. Whoever made this one somehow did this to the arm, and I don't know how. I'm willing to bet probably this joint in here could potentially be fucked, but I have no way of knowing because I'm going to need something to get that pin out, and then I'm going to have a look. Unfortunately, I can't afford that shit right now. But if you're interested in helping me, you can always follow the link below to my Patreon. I guess for now I'm rocking a one-armed Motormaster, which is a shame because I actually quite like this paint scheme. Yeah, I was a bit uncertain about it when it first arrived in hand, but it looks pretty good. I suppose my other alternative is just chuck this in the bin, forget about it, and get Nemesis Prime. Or I could just do a head swap if I really wanted to. But for now, let's continue on with G1 Soundwave in over 60 seconds, let's go. After a fabled outing in the Netflix line some 4 or 5 years prior to this, where he turned fucking brown, here's an image for reference, the traditional tape deck Soundwave managed to finally break free of, I'm assuming, licensing agreements and get a second run with better quality build in Legacy United. And how is it? I mean, it's fine. It's the original tape deck Soundwave. He's got all the detail, and you can see here recording button and other buttons and buttons and other buttons and buttons. The weapon storage that I'm not 100% sure if that's correct, but fuck it, we're here now. We ball. He don't really do much, to be quite honest. He is supposed to have a gimmick where you can pop cassettes in here, so let's just grab, I don't know, this one, and you slide them in, and just, you can see that once it's in, Yeah, the gimmick don't work. This is supposed to spring load open and you can recreate iconic scenes of Soundwave shooting kids everywhere. But instead, we end up with this. That's what it's supposed to do, and you can do Ravage, eject, and shit, but the cassettes don't work. I did have a bit planned for this where it was going to be like, oh, who's that? Cameo bait. I had another bit planned where it was going to be like, oh, she doesn't even go here. But instead, I guess we move on to Soundwave Superior. To Soundwave Superior in all his nostalgic glory. Look, you can make him do the thing and the little guys come out. There's an American education system joke about shooting loads of kids and something, but I'm going to move on. The 3 cassettes included in this pack are Buzzsaw, who is just the best at what he does because he does the least. I'll talk about him shortly. And Ravage and Rumble. I always get people digging me out asking why I keep calling the blue one Frenzy. It's because of the '07 movie. It's because of this release, which was the first Barricade I ever owned. Right? Blame that. And honestly, these two fare better, but this Ravage has been in circulation since Siege, and it's been fucking horrible since Siege. Its posability is just fucking whack in all the worst way. It's not a good Ravage. It's just not good. Now, the blue M&M, he's got some more interesting stuff going on, because this isn't a repaint of the original, because somehow it was decided we desperately needed a rerun of this one, but not this one. Fucking hate you, Ravage. And honestly, this one fares fine. Honestly, this one fares better than the original. You know, he's got the extra pieces in the form of those weird gun things on his back, but he's also got a secret up his sleeve. Intimate information of your mother's personal life. He can do the thing. Admittedly, you gotta pose him like he's taking a shit to get the full advantage of it, but he can do the thing. These pieces just slide over the balled up fist, the pre-transformed arm. I'm not taking it back off because it's surprisingly tight. This bit is mounted on a 5mm port that you can remove and reattach, and yeah, he looks like he's taking a shit. Sure, whatever, he's not even the best of the cassettes. Because the title of best one here mostly just goes to Buzzsaw, because A, it's the first Buzzsaw we've had since the end of Combiner Wars, and B, being a repaint of the Laserbeak mold, he's intended to have more functionality where he can actually perch on the arm like this. Unfortunately, I think the mold has degraded because there isn't really much keeping him in place. Here's instead what this connection should look like. Honestly, all things considered, pretty good. It's one of my favourite things about these cassettes. And just how does this Soundwave fare anyway? Well, I have no real complaints about it, truth be told. It's not perfect by any means, but when you've lived through the Netflix one and it's fucking brown and black, yeah, sure, I'll take this Soundwave no matter what. It's better than one that's trying to cosplay as Universe Vector Prime, for fuck's sake. Also, fun fact, I refuse to let yellow-eyed Soundwave in my house. And in the span of 18 years, it's never happened, because we don't fuck around with yellow-eyed Soundwave in this house. Fuck him. I spit on him. I believe this one is a repaint of the dramatic capture build of this particular mold. I'll link a review courtesy of another channel, who I'm not going to name because fuck them, who covered that dramatic capture one. But this one has its quirks. I'll get it down in a minute for, I don't know, scientific comparison, but the joints have got very weird detentions throughout, so you can see the arm can only sit either directly to the body or out at 45 degrees. Beyond that, it's free. It can do whatever. But yeah, you're not getting it between those two. The legs are somewhat the same. They haven't got ratchets by any means, but that's the closest you can get his legs together. You can see they're not stood straight up, whereas I remember the original one could do that. So, you know, it's got quirks to it. There's layers to this shit. He comes with this weird gun accessory that he came with in G1, as well as his other battery accessory that sits on his shoulder. He is meant to come with this thing, whatever it's supposed to be, but we all realistically know the figure that's intended for is in fact Megatron, not Soundwave. But in the interest of differentiation, I'll let Sound Blaster keep it, and I'll let the fucking hippie keep his as a back-mounted piece, just again in the interest of making things interesting. Also, both of these are beholden to that weird 45-degree angle thing at the shoulder. But funnily enough, not this fucking one. He can do whatever he likes. What is the plural for multiple sound waves? Is it a bastardize of sound waves? A cacophony of sound waves? A bunch of fucking Ultimately, I can't deny that Soundwave is a point of contention. He is a Voyager release in a box set with 3 little guys sold as a leader price, along with the looming threat of the SS-86 mold, which is currently believed is going to turn out to be a new mold. Get one if you're desperate, be patient if you're not. In the unlikely event you're watching from a future where the SS-86 one is dog wank, he's fine. He's just not going to blow your cock off in excitement. Armada Galvatron in over 60 seconds, let's go. I've deliberately put this one at the end because there's the least to talk about here, and I know your TikTok attention span is fucking killing you right now, so let's not waste much more time. Same standard tank mode as the Armada Megatron previously reviewed in this video, except now it's in off-white and burgundy. And how does it look? Honestly, I think it looks fucking phenomenal. I love this color scheme, and I love the implications of its inspiration, even though I don't think it's based on the G1 Galvatron toy. I'll get it in when we get to robot mode, but this thing looks fucking good. I rate it a lot. I really like it. It has the same features. The tank barrel that can't go around all the way because, I don't know, stability or fear of dick jokes or whatever. Treads that don't actually move because there's secret hidden wheels underneath there. Wow. It's standard shit. If you want more in-depth take on this, I highly recommend that Megatron video. If you just want to hear me talk smack about a repaint, then this segment is for you. Yes, of course, we're all familiar with the absolutely phenomenal Armada Megatron silhouette, but this isn't about that. This is about the new shit. Very much the primary core changes they made with this version is the horns are no longer removable, now being glued into the head, which I think goes against the initial reveal. I'm sure there's an image out there of him holding the antler as a blade because they kept on pushing that one, and now you can't do that. Also, he has a new grimacing face with imaginary teeth. Wow. Beyond that, everything else is the same. They haven't made any other major cosmetic changes. Everything else is more structural this time around. For better or for worse, he decidedly doesn't feel quite as tight around the waist and the ankle tilts, which, I mean, I think I summed it up best just now when I said for better or for worse. Also, now I think about it, I'm pretty sure this guy was based off Beast Wars 2 Galvatron and not the original toy one. But fuck it, have a look at him here now with the Gen Selects toy Galvatron. To be fair, these two actually look pretty good together in their own menacing way. And here's a picture of him in the Tidal Wave armor from a couple of videos back. You guys like nostalgia, don't you? Remember the Tidal Wave video? Truthfully, having Armada Galvatron is just one of those really cool niche things that I wasn't expecting them to do, but I'm glad they did. There's always something more fun about the whole Unicron Trilogy Megatron Galvatron thing, and it's something they continued with the core class figure, which I didn't cover because I didn't get the Galvatron, but this is fun. I like this. It's solid. You don't need to get this if you want to do Tidal Wave and all that other shit. You can do that with the Megatron. But if you're in the same boat as me where you're just sad and overweight and like collecting, then this will definitely tickle that niche. I'm sorry if that got personal. I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now. Got me looking at the world like Galvatron right now. Holy fuck, is that Godzilla? Honestly, just a ridiculously solid wave. While we have varying degrees of retools, repaints, new head sculpts, and a new mold mixed in here, I like it. I like it a lot with what it does. Between delivering repaints that I wasn't expecting to get, redemptions for molds that otherwise needed them, and just one of the most absurd one-off figure ideas in the main line I've seen in quite a while. This feels more in line with the end of Legacy Evolution, where we got some really random but some really nice stuff in the end. And without giving away too many spoilers, it's almost a shame that Wave 5 doesn't quite live up to what this one establishes, but that's for another time. For now, I'm gonna leave the video there. And if you're watching, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about old Motormaster here. I will come back to him one day. Yes, I will come back, etc, etc. Really obscure ancient quote. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see yous in the next one. Goodbye.